Hello. So today we're going to talk about SAEs when we're talking about our FFA to start our day. So I'm going to try and keep it brief, but I think it's good to give you guys an overview of what an SAE is and give you a better understanding so that when you do your assignment, you kind of know, or you watch the videos, you kind of know what you're looking at. So let's start this presentation. All right. So an SAE is a supervised agricultural experience. It consists of a plan of practical activities. It's conducted outside of class time, so it's not something that we will do in ag classes, but it's something that we'll talk about. And then it allows you to gain knowledge in the real world, apply those skills, and then learn responsibilities. And we'll kind of elaborate on that a little bit more. But it's basically an activity that you do outside of school. It could be a job or it can be a hobby, and then we can bring that back in and we can utilize that as your SAE. So let's explain that a little bit more. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but how does the SAE help me? It helps you develop skills that will help you get a job. Some people's SAE could be working in a greenhouse and just being an employee in a greenhouse. And then that could lead to you taking interest in horticulture, and that leads to you maybe wanting to go to college for horticulture, or that leads to you wanting to get a full-time job working in the greenhouse. So these things can kind of help you understand what you like and what you don't like, because maybe you do that SAE for a year and you think, I am not into working in a greenhouse. So then you can maybe go and work at Subway. That could be an SAE too. There's so many different ways that we can attach it to SAE and to agriculture, and we can make it work, really. So even the craziest things we could probably make work. So anyways, it'll help you develop skills, starting your own business. There are people that will they'll make leather belts, and then you can sell that, and then you can start. And some people have created actual businesses from this and made money off of it. Not that that's the point, but it helps you develop those skills and really helps you build them. All right, and then helps you develop management skills and self-discipline, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. You'll learn record-keeping skills. You'll improve your analytical and decision-making skills. Teaches you responsibility, provides opportunities to explore possible careers. We kind of touched on that already, but there's a lot. It gives you a sort of independence that allows you, a guided independence, really, that allows you to take something and make it yours, but also have that basis to fall back on of having that support system and mentors along the way. It helps you develop knowledge and skills that will be helpful in college, as a hobby or for recreation. And we talked about that a little bit. Even if I worked in a greenhouse, let's just keep going with that. And I don't want to do this the rest of my life, but now I have that skill set where I can grow a tomato plant and eat it all summer and not kill it. So it's important to learn those skills. So then you can also provide opportunities to win awards. The FFA, the SAE is really the basis of a lot of the award programs. You can win proficiency awards, and that's basically contests, or it's applications that you can fill out to say, I think that I've got the best SAE, and then they will go, the ag teachers get together, and then they choose the winner for a proficiency award in all the different categories. And then it's also the basis for earning your state and your American degree. If you earn your state degree, you go to the state convention, you get up on the stage, and make a really big deal of it, and it's really awesome. And then they also have the American degree, which 2% of FFA members get. Mind you, there's over 500,000 FFA members, so only 2% are getting their American degree. You can go down to National Convention in Indianapolis, and you get up on the stage, and they make it a really huge deal there too, and it's very cool, and it's a very big honor. So that is easily attainable if we start your SAE and you kind of know what you want to do. So some things to keep in mind. And then, excuse me, in order to be a state or national officer, you have to have an SAE. Like I said, it's really the basis of our awards and things that you can apply for in FFA. That doesn't mean that you have to have an SAE. I mean, you can be a member of the Nuclearis FFA and participate in everything and not have an SAE, and you'd be just fine. But I'm just presenting the opportunities to you. All right. Now ask yourself, is it important that you make money during your SAE? Do you have easy access to a space large enough to have an animal or plant program? Which, like I said, you do not have to do animal or plant. It's open to much more. And then, are you doing something that maybe is already SAE? So you're making leather belts, lawn service. If you spend your summers mowing people's lawns, that's an SAE. That is a small business that you're running. So that is considered. And then, or maybe you chop firewood and you sell that, or even give it away. I mean, that's considered an SAE. And then, can I work with a relative or family friend with the project? So, for example, let's say you are really interested in showing a pig. You think, oh, that would be so fun to it just looks so fun going out there and showing a pig, and yada yada. So then you say, but I don't know anyone that has pigs or shows pigs. Well, the perfect thing for you to do is to contact me through email, or you can, once the world is right, you can stop down to my room, but contact me and I will put you into contact with someone who can help you, who has pigs, who's willing to house them for you and help you. That's my job, and I so want to do it for you. So I've already had someone reach out to me this last summer looking for information on how to get her horses shown. So I am their contact person for that, and I'm the best one to help you for that. So let me help you, because I want you guys to have something that you can look forward to and have a hobby with and use to grow your leadership skills and your responsibility and time management. It's really great skills that you can develop from having an SAE. Okay, moving on. So there are different types of programs. There's entrepreneurship, placement, and research. So entrepreneurship will develop a business to create your own project. You can invest time, money, or buy your own materials. You keep or sell your resulting product, and you could be a service business and you could keep the money you make. So, for example, a service business, you could do dog washing. You don't have to have much money go into that, and then you can have an income as well. So here are some more examples. You can grow and sell items for a local farmer's market, raise bees and sell honey. You could do maple syrup. That's a really cool thing that you can do. Cutting and selling firewood, we talked about, raising a livestock animal, run horse training business, growing bedding plants in the school greenhouse. I'd be more than willing to help you out with that. Own and operate a lawn care service and operate a dog grooming service, which are some things that we talked about too. Okay, moving on to placement. You can do agriculture work for someone. So this is if I was going to go and work at a greenhouse. This is you learning through an agriculture job, and like we said, working at Subway too. You're working somewhere and you're getting paid, and you are providing your learning by doing in that way. It says so you can keep track of your hours and your skills, and like I said, this is outside of the normal class period. So some examples for this: you could work in a floral shop, you could work on the school farm, which we don't have. Work after school at a supply store. So you can work at True Value, put in time at school greenhouse after school and on the weekends and holidays. That's definitely an option. If you have an interest, I'd be willing to help you with that. And again, you guys can't start these until you are a freshman, but if you're interested, reach out to me, and then I will make sure that we get you set up so that when you become a freshman, we can be ready and have you roll right into it. Have duties and responsibilities on the livestock farm, and then do yard and landscape work for your family or neighbors. All right. So then let's move on to research. You plan and conduct a major agriculture experiment using scientific process. The purpose of the experiment is to provide students hands-on experience. So this is definitely something you can do if you know that you don't work on a farm, but maybe you want to test, you want to do a research project on the pH in soil and how it affects plant growth, let's just say. We can do that. Verify your learning by demonstrating scientific principles of agriculture, and then you discover new knowledge and you use the scientific process. So, for research examples, you can compare the effect of various planting media or fertilizers on plant growth, determine the impact of different levels of protein in fish growth, which we can do because we have a large fish tank back here. Comparing 3 rooting hormones and root development, that would be neat. And determining if the time of feeding has an effect on animal growth. So there are a lot of different things that you can do. I mean, you could have Mozart play in the background while your heifer is growing or eating, and see if that makes a difference based on maybe your heifer that's doing the same thing in the other barn that doesn't have Mozart playing. So there's so many different things that you guys can do. All right, more examples, analyzing the effectiveness of different display methods of plant sales in a garden center, demonstrating the impact of different levels of soil acidity in plant growth. That's, the pH that we talked about. Determining the strength of welds using different welding methods. So a lot of these were kind of based on plant, but again, there's so many different avenues that you guys can go towards. So if you have an interest in anything, ask me and we'll try to figure out a way to make it connect or to make it work so that you guys can have an SAE. All right, things to consider when having your SAE. You have this program all year and potentially more years. So you could do this for your entire high school career. And it's something to think about how much time you want to put into it. Like if you want to just cut grass, then that's something that you only have to do in the summer, right? So one thing to think about. So it's important to pick something that you enjoy. Like I said, if you have a hobby or if you have an interest in something, that's what you would choose and that's what you would start to work on, and then develop your project from there. If you're already working on something, you can consider expanding it. That's really great. So you can kind of start now and then you can work on expanding it. And then by the time you get to your freshman year, then we can have a really strong basis. And then is there a project like livestock showing that you've been wanting to do? We talked about that a little bit. Has your parent been wanting something done at home? Garden planting, shed built. Just try to think outside the box and think of something that you might want to do. Show your work. You must complete minimum hours. There are paperwork, I guess, that you have to fill out, but it's all online. You have to enter in like your hours that you do, and then you have to enter in like it says, photos and then what you've learned, which really isn't too bad because you are going to learn so much that it will be pretty easy to fill all that in. So this is a way you can enter to win the contest, to win awards for your SAEs. So if that's something that interests you, you can have a really awesome SAE and you can come out and you can kick booty and do well with your SAE. So that's really awesome. All right, so you want to have your areas of interest. These are the areas of interest in agriculture that they really stem from. So you might not think that something goes in with it. So food products and processing systems. So that could, if you work at Roy's at the grocery store, we can probably fit that into food products and processing systems. It's just, don't think that anything that you do can't fit, because we'll make it fit. All right, so if you need any ideas, reach out to me and I will help you. And that is our little bit about SAEs.